It is being said that we may have to wait until 2029 for K-Pop Demon Hunters 2. But is Netflix really going to keep its most watched movie silent for years? So, did Jinu really die? Or does his soul still continue to live inside Rumi, or inside her sword? Will the second movie tell the story of Rumi's demon father, her mother's mysterious past, and Mira and Zoey's families? And if the Saja Boys are not coming back, will HUNTRX face a demonic girl group similar to them this time? In this video, we will answer the 4 biggest questions being asked online about K-Pop Demon Hunters 2 one by one, using official information and the strongest theories. Especially our final theory may change all your expectations about who the new enemies in the second movie could be. Let's get started. When will K-Pop Demon Hunters 2 be released? The release year currently being discussed for K-Pop Demon Hunters 2 is 2029. But there is an important detail here. Even though Netflix has officially confirmed the sequel, it has not announced an exact release date yet. So right now, we do not have an official date with a specific day and month. 2029 stands out as the release year Netflix and Sony Pictures Animation are targeting. In fact, some comments from Sony's side suggest that if the production process takes longer than expected, the movie could even be pushed beyond 2029. For now, the most logical thing we can do is expect the movie for 2029, but also be prepared for a possible delay. So why do we have to wait around 4 years for the second movie? Because K-Pop Demon Hunters is not just an animated movie, it is also a major musical production. First, the story needs to be completed, then new songs need to be written, voice recordings need to be done, choreography needs to be prepared, and all of that has to be turned into animation. On top of that, after the success of the first movie, Netflix and Sony are expected to approach the sequel with a much bigger budget and production scale. Director Maggie Kang also said that the second movie will be bigger and more eventful than the first. So in short, even though 2029 feels far away, when you think about the size of the movie being prepared, it is not completely unreasonable. But I do not think Netflix will leave K-Pop Demon Hunters completely silent until 2029. After all, this is a massive brand that became the most watched movie in Netflix history and also took over the music charts. Keeping a project like this waiting for 4 years without sharing any new content would be a huge missed opportunity for the company. That is why, starting in 2027, we may begin to see concept art, character images, short behind-the-scenes videos, and small hints from the directors about the story. Maybe even very short sections of the new outfits or the songs that will be used in the second movie could be shared early. On top of that, we already know that a short project called Debut, a K-Pop Demon Hunter story, has appeared. The fact that this project has been rated by the Motion Picture Association shows that the K-Pop Demon Hunters universe could be expanded before the second movie as well. The short film's story and release date have not been announced yet, but because of its title, people think it may tell the story of HUNTRX's formation or the girl's first time on stage. Other than that, music videos, game collaborations, special episodes, and other short stories could also come. So, while waiting for 2029, I do not think this universe will stay completely empty. My prediction is that Netflix will keep interest alive with small pieces of content throughout 2027, and in 2028, they will start showing the first real images from the second movie. The first short teaser or the movie's logo could arrive in 2028, while the full trailer will most likely be saved for 2029. Of course, none of this is an official schedule yet. It is completely a prediction based on the progress of the production. But instead of keeping one of Netflix's most valuable brands silent for years, it makes much more sense for them to share something new every year. So even if the second movie comes in 2029, we may not have to wait that long for K-Pop Demon Hunters news. Will Jinu return in K-Pop Demon Hunters 2? Now let's get to the question fans are maybe even more curious about than the release date. Will Jinu return? Right now, there is no official statement saying that Jinu will return in the second movie. At the end of the first movie, Jinu gave his own soul to Rumi to save her and sacrificed himself. This scene seemed to emotionally complete the character's story. However, even though Jinu's body disappeared, it was never clearly shown whether his soul was completely destroyed or not. And all the return theories come from exactly this uncertainty. According to the strongest theory, Jinu's soul continues to live inside Rumi's sword or her powers. Because in his final moments, Jinu did not only save Rumi, he gave his soul directly to her, and this power allowed Rumi to stand back up against Guima. So in the second movie, it may be possible for Rumi to hear Jinu's voice, see his memories, or communicate with him in a spiritual world. This would be one of the most logical ways to bring Jinu back into the story without immediately bringing him back to life. At the same time, it would not completely erase the importance of the sacrifice in the first movie. I think Jinu will definitely appear in some way in the second movie. I cannot say for sure that this will be a full physical return, but if Netflix wants to make fans happy, they cannot completely remove this character from the story. Jinu became one of the most beloved characters in the movie, and the bond he formed with Rumi created the emotional center of the first film. For such a popular character to not appear at all in the new movie would create a big absence both in terms of the story and audience expectations. That is why I believe we will see Jinu again, even if it is only as a memory, a dream, a spiritual image, or a short return scene. The real question may not be whether we will see Jinu, but in what form we will see him. He could remain as a spirit guiding Rumi throughout the second movie, appear again in flashback scenes, or the movie could open the door for him to return to the real world at the end. It could even be discovered that bringing Jinu's soul back is possible, while Rumi is investigating her family and demon origins. But making him human again too easily could reduce the impact of the big sacrifice in the first movie. That is why it would create a stronger story if the producers make Jinu's return a slow, difficult, and emotional process. My prediction is that Jinu will not directly return in the first half of the second movie. First, Rumi will begin to feel his presence, and then they will communicate through short visions or voices. Toward the end of the movie, it may be confirmed that Jinu's soul is truly still alive. Maybe in the finale of the second movie, the possibility of fully bringing him back will appear, and that story will be carried into the third movie. So Jinu could definitely show up in the second film, but we may need to wait a little longer for him to become human again and return to HUNTRX's side. What will the story of KPop Demon Hunters 2 be? The official story of the second movie has not been revealed yet, but the information the directors have previously shared gives us a very strong clue. Maggie Kang explained that the first movie was mainly Rumi's story, and that some backstories prepared for Mira and Zoey did not fit into the film. That is why it seems extremely logical for the second movie to focus much more on Mira and Zoey without completely pushing Rumi into the background. In the first film, we met them as members of a powerful team, but we learned almost nothing about their families, childhoods, or lives before becoming demon hunters. We know that Mira comes from a wealthy family, but is seen as the black sheep of her family because of her rebellious personality. The second movie could show why Mira distanced herself from her family and why she accepts HUNTRX as her real family. Maybe her family never supported her becoming an idol or a demon hunter. A person from Mira's past could even indirectly play a role in the emergence of the new threat. A story like this could reveal the hurt and need for acceptance inside Mira, who looks extremely strong from the outside. Zoey's story could be built around growing up between two different cultures. We know that she is Korean American, but her relationship with her family and why she came to Korea to join HUNTRX have not been explained yet. Even though Zoey always seems energetic and cheerful, there were small moments in the first movie where she sometimes showed that she did not feel like she fully belonged in the group. In the second movie, her family's expectations, her search for identity, and her desire to prove herself could turn into a bigger conflict. That way, Zoey would stop being only the funny and cheerful member of the group and could have her own emotional story. On Rumi's side, the biggest mystery is still her family. We know that her mother was a demon hunter and her father was a demon, but we do not know how these two met, how they fell in love, or what happened to Rumi's father. Rumi's mother's past, her relationship with Celine, and the truth behind her death could form the main mystery of the second movie. Since Rumi no longer rejects her demon side, she may want to find her father and learn about her own origins, but the truth she faces may be much darker than she expects. That is why I think the main theme of the second movie will be family. While Mira and Zoey face their biological families, Rumi may search for the truth about her mother and father. Against all of that, the family HUNTRX created by choosing each other becomes even more important. So the movie may not only tell the story of a new war against demons, but also the three girls facing their pasts. The message of the first movie was accepting the side of yourself that you are ashamed of. The message of the second movie may be that family is not only formed through blood, but through accepting and protecting one another. Will the Saja Boys and Guima return, and who will the new villain be? I do not think the Saja Boys will be the main villains again in the second movie. Their mission in the first movie was to steal HUNTRX's fans and weaken the Hanmoon, so their main purpose in the story was largely completed. With Jinu also turning against Guima, the group fell apart, and the fate of the other members was left unclear. Some members could appear again in short scenes or flashbacks, but if the same group returns with the same plan, the second movie would end up repeating the first film. That is why it would be much more creative for the producers to move toward a new rival group. I think this time, we may face a demonic K-pop group made up of women instead of men. This group could be designed like a dark reflection of HUNTR. 3 new demon idols who have abilities similar to Rumi, Mira, and Zoey, but use them to control people instead of protecting them. The Saja Boys captured fans with their romantic charm. This new girl group could try to replace HUNTRX by copying their style, messages, and stage identity. They could even present themselves to people as a more perfect HUNTRX. Having these rivals attack the girls not only on the music charts but also emotionally could make the story much stronger. Mira's rival could be a perfect and disciplined idol preferred by her family. Zoey's rival could use her issues of belonging and cause her to drift away from the group. The demon facing Rumi could deceive her by saying that she knows the truth about her father or mother. This way, the new group would not only try to steal HUNTRX's fans, they would also use the three girls' biggest fears about their families against them. We also do not know for sure that Guima has been completely destroyed. He was defeated in the first film, but the demon world as a whole did not disappear. Guima could continue gathering strength in the shadows, or a much more dangerous demon leader could take his place. In my opinion, it would be more interesting if a female demon ruler were behind the new girl group. This character could be connected to Rumi's demon father, her mother's past, or previous demon hunters. That way, the new enemy would not only be a musical rival, but also a personal threat coming from Rumi's family history. My strongest prediction is that the Saja Boys will not return as the main villains, but some members of the group may appear in smaller roles. One of them could even help HUNTRX to learn Jinu's fate. The real rival could be a new demon group made up of girls, and this group could try to destroy both HUNTRX's popularity and the bond between them. A story like this would keep the musical rivalry of the first movie, but it would not repeat the exact same formula. On top of that, a huge stage duel between HUNTRX and their dark versions could become the most unforgettable part of the second movie. So what are your predictions for K-Pop Demon Hunters 2? Do you think Jinu will really return? And if he does, will he become human again? Or will he remain as a spirit guiding Rumi? Would you want the second movie to focus on Rumi's family, or on Mira and Zoey's pasts? And how would you feel about HUNTRX facing a demonic girl group instead of the Saja Boys? Definitely share all your theories in the comments. Maybe in the next video, we can go through the best viewer theories together. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss new updates about K-Pop Demon Hunters 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.